Don't do this. Apparently, we just don't get a break from talking today. To the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have got our red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. It's been a long time since I've actually done proper introductions and actually observed something proper on my main PC from the start of a game, because it's been like 3 hours, it feels like. To the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg player from Romantic Gaming is HateMe. Okay, then we're 4 hours into this qualifier, and I don't even know what they're going to do to sort all of this out. But again, we're going to continue to bring you guys some of the updates from Ziggy versus Drogo. And whenever possible, we're going to bring you guys the just little clips from the game. But we are going to focus on this MaNa HateMe series just so that we have a fresh game from the start. It helps me with my YouTube VODs. You know, I don't like uploading VODs from the stream that are obviously just halfway casted or so. So we're going to do this, and obviously we haven't casted many full games today because we had a very long game. So we're going to do it like this as we get set up and ready to party. Hatchery will drop down. Sorry, I need to mute myself for like a half a minute or so, guys. BRB. I just can't talk. Alright, let's try that again. So game number 1 of this HateMe versus MaNa series 0-0-0-0. And with everything to play for as we get this rocking and rolling. Already a few lings just chasing after this initial probe here. That probe is heading off through towards the center of the map a little bit more so now. An Adept on the way up as well here from MaNa, so that's coming on through to Chrono Boost away. And again, the few Zerglings are going to try and chase this probe down. And they are probably going to be able to get it in the next couple of moments. So, probe is about to drop. It should go down before it comes home. It was faster link speed, so gas pool hatch rather than hatch pool gas. Hence why this is a little bit kind of, you know, lings maybe a bit earlier than that probe is expecting. That's why the lanes are across the map so early before the first Adept is out, for example. Obviously, this is a play by HateMe where he's designed this to make this work out for him. And look at this, the Adept's going to shade. And with the Adept shading, I thought that was the dream. But the Adept didn't shade, and he sees that with the Overlord. I thought the Adept shaded. I was so sure of it myself. I really, really thought it was. Okay, well, in that case, HateMe just pulling back. I mean, the idea was good, but MaNa plays it correctly given the scenario. He knows there's Zerglings somewhere on the map, so he plays it very safely, and even though he doesn't see them directly, he knows they're there somewhere, and so he gets the job done. What's up, Katsumi? Suno coming in with the tier 1 sub for 5 months in a row. Giving us some love in the chat for Katsumi. How you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the 5-month resub. Hope you're having a great day and enjoying the WCS EU qualifiers. A couple of Adepts here are going to be splitting themselves up on their shades, just looking for information. Meanwhile, it's a pretty slow play, really, from MaNa, who is just going to be getting himself a Oracle up here. Obviously, going into this, I do feel as though MaNa definitely must be the favorite going in against HateMe. HateMe is very good, but MaNa just took down Snoot, and obviously Snoot is at that sort of level where we look at him, and anyone taking down Snoot is generally going to be very favored in a lot of the other matches which they play throughout this bracket. So, as this continues, we see this Oracle is on its way towards the upper left-hand side. A couple of Overlords are just coming out the front here as well, getting themselves set up and ready to go. A third hatchery dropping down also. These few drones going to transfer down towards that south side and in towards the third base, as the Oracle is going to be taking a little bit more damage from the Queen. So a little bit more damage being done here and there, and as the Twilight Council is on its way up, MaNa gets ready for his transition. It is double Oracle, so definitely the opportunity to bounce back in with the Oracles at a later point and pick up a few more worker kills. That would be pretty nice, you know, get in there and grab 3 to 4 workers here and there, and you know, it just keeps him busy. Actually, Phoenix as well, so has been on the Overlord hunt, found one so far, and that's only been one to find, although you'll find another one very far forwards. But there is creep spread, which will allow for the Queens to come forwards fast enough to maybe potentially turn this Phoenix away. Initial Oracle here will be coming back itself. There's no transfusing this Queen, so it is going to be a dead Overlord. As the Adept's actually coming forwards with this. No Glaives just yet. MaNa attacking a bit earlier than you might expect. We'll see what he can do without Glaives. Obviously, it's interesting for him to attack at this sort of timing, because if he loses his Adepts, then suddenly his attack with Glaives is going to be so much worse. few Zerglings running in, and they are just going to be able to grab themselves. No way. How do those Adepts survive? The Lings just jumped off them at the wrong time. At the real wrong time. And we are going to be seeing the Adepts just shitting all the way back. I mean, now you wait for Glaives in the next set of Adepts, right? Robo Facility coming down. And more Adepts moving forwards here. So Robo Facility coming down, double Robo coming down as the third Nexus comes on up. So a very interesting follow-up from MaNa, where a lot of Immortal production catch up on the fact that he went Stargate, then Glaives. So again, in towards this, these Adepts going to continue shading across the map and getting ready to go again. There's the Oracles we talked about before, able to dive in for the 3 or 4 workers at a time. And that is the 3 workers for now. Just keeps HateMe a little bit honest in the worker count. Just keeps them a little bit close together. I'm not sure if HateMe is ready for this attack. Spire is on the way down. He's going to try and wall this off. This is not going to work. One of the walls actually gets taken down because the Oracles kill the drone. And now the Adepts just shade on by, so the other wall doesn't come up either. Adepts will cancel their shade. They're picking off Queens on the low ground, and HateMe was just not prepared for the glaive version of this attack. Now these Zerglings are going to be in so much trouble. The Oracles have been targeted, but MaNa pulls them to the better side of the Adepts. Keeps those alive while the Zerglings just keep on disappearing. And suddenly there's Adepts in the third base mineral line. Drones are dropping all over the place. And it looks as though MaNa is just going to have a little bit too much. And oh my god, that was so creepy. As Drogo won game number 2 against Ziggy at the exact same time that MaNa tapped out. So I really get my voice under control as we go into game number 2 of this here. As the bottom left hand side, we have the red Protoss player from Team Liquid. This is MaNa. And to the upper right hand side, our blue Zerg from Romantic Gaming is HateMe. So we set up, and it's game number 2 of this best of 3. MaNa takes the lead in the series 1-0 so far, and we look to see what will be happening from here on out as we continue on. Now, the winner of this will play against Petit Drogo in our first qualifying match of the day, so we're looking to continue in towards that as the day goes by. So we have a couple of series, we kind of know what's coming up next, you know? We have a rough idea of what's coming up next, which is always a nice little something. By the way, guys, thank you so much for joining us today and for sitting through a couple of the ads. Because of the very long Clem versus Guru game that I didn't want to run ads on the middle of, we're very far behind our usual kind of ad ratio that we hope to play kind of ads per hour. So obviously we do appreciate when you guys sit through the ads, and there might just be a couple of extra ad breaks here in the near future, simply because of that reason. So again, thanks for understanding, as I'm sure you will do, and thanks for again checking out the stream. I can't talk. I think my throat's fucked. What have I done to my voice? I went away for the weekend. I actually had a pretty fun weekend. I know you guys probably going to be like, why do we care? Talk about the game, but nothing's really happening. Stargate coming down, yada yada. Usual stuff for PvZ. I had a pretty fun weekend. I went to the Lake District with a couple of the UK people, UK StarCraft guys. It's kind of cool. We did something completely different. We went off and stayed in a place, no PCs or anything like that. Obviously we had internet and stuff, right? But like, no games or anything like that, and just chilled, went on some walks, went bouldering for a bit. It was really fun. So I wonder if I've the actual kind of the actual going outside has started to kill me, started to catch up on me. Maybe my body's just like, what do you mean? We have to go back to sitting inside and talking. I don't get it. That's kind of cool though. I wrote a bit about it on Twitter, my Instagram post, I guess it was. It's like, it's really cool that we all met each other. You know, we're a group of friends that just met each other playing StarCraft and going to StarCraft lands, and now we kind of meet up and do other stuff in life together as well, because we're just genuinely a group of friends. Isn't it a nice story? It should be one of those stories that was part of their hashtag SC20 thing, you know? You know what I'm saying, guys? Anyways, Overlord gets taken down here. That is a supply block. MaNa with the Void Ray opening again. We saw him doing this a little bit against Snoot in one of the earlier games here and there. Again, I'm not fully... the Snoot versus Snoot games was hard to follow exactly because I was keeping an eye on the TvZ, but we did see him do this, and he generally went into that Archon drop follow-up. In fact, he did this on this map, and he went into that follow-up where it was the game where he was attacking in this base, and he had the 4 Zealots and 2 Archons. He microed them over here and got them, escaped them out, and then the Void Ray joined the fight to cancel the 4th base. It was pretty sick, actually, for MaNa, so we'll see what he can do this time around. He's going to be seeing these Lings. Continue move off to the side. As the War Prism is just over halfway done. Charge is on its way. Again, a few more gates coming through. That Templar Archives is as expected here for the Archons and the Charge Lots. The first game of this series was actually very different from MaNa compared to how he was playing against Snoot. Every game against Snoot. Game 1, 8-gate charge all in off 2 bases. Second game, 3 bases, big 8-gate charge lot, aggressive play. Third game, something very similar. But in the first game of this, obviously, he completely skipped charge for a very long time. So, really very different for him in the first game, but now back to kind of his cookie cutter, what worked out the best for him up until now. PvZ, because he did again have some very good PvZ to get to this stage of the tournament already. As we do see the 4 High Templar morph into a couple of Archons here, and they are going to be setting themselves up. There's 9 Roaches, 10 Roaches on the way from HateMe to get ready to defend this. We're currently talking about just 4 gateways, going up to 5th and 6th beyond the 3rd Nexus, so not hyper aggressive here or anything from MaNa. And as these first couple of Archons come in, we are going to be seeing a Queen, just gets transfused in time. Good control by both players here so far. And obviously, eventually, MaNa is looking to lift up those Archons, keep them alive. Maybe could have gotten that Roach that was low on health, but it's a very minor little something. Actually impressed with how little died here. I don't think anything died from the Archons, which must be a first. That's kind of insane. As we are going to be seeing these, this War Prism pulling back and just going to start working its way through this Overlord. And we are just going to be seeing the couple of Queens continue to push through. And the War Prism is indeed pushed away. So, nice stuff from MaNa and HateMe. You know, MaNa trying his best to make this attack work out, not losing his units when it's unsuccessful. Unsuccessful in the best possible way in terms of he's just pushed away, right? He doesn't lose anything, he doesn't overcommit. And it's great from HateMe. He defends this without losing too much. MaNa will still have opportunities to deal damage. We'll see if HateMe can continue with this very solid defense, as we're going to be seeing 4 Zealots warping in, and already a couple of drones getting some damage. I'll be taking some hits. Now we're going to be seeing the Overlord and the Queen going in a couple of different directions. Splits the Archons up, actually. And yeah, he just gets the Overlord. The Zealots are going to go down. But he has 4 drones along the way, mostly because of these Zealots in the 3rd base. So it's a nice distraction. Pulls a lot off and away. And allows him to get quite a few worker kills. 5 drones down. And we are going to be seeing the Archons actually now going to find themselves a Queen. And this patience from MaNa has paid off, keeping these units alive until the perfect moment. And now he's been able to make the most of it. Actually going to get himself a couple of forward Crypt Tumors here as well. Oh, the Queen is so low. Just didn't quite target the lower health Queen initially. And that was a little bit of an interesting moment or so there. As we are going to be seeing the well, HateMe defense continues. A couple of Zealots are still in this main base. I have absolutely no idea how. The Zealot starts to fight the Queen. Should not be successful, but maybe it will be, as the Roaches don't turn around to help. They have let their Queen down. And that Queen is going to fall victim of Roach neglect. Fordrick comes back over to the left-hand side. We are going to be seeing this Archon morphing in on the left side too. This few Zealots just joining in, as well as the main army starts to be really kind of brought together here, of course. We're not looking at Storm just yet. It's just Archons, Immortals, and Charge Lots. There's a lot of them because, again, MaNa has really barely lost anything. 8 Zealots lost. It's a 1,500 to 800 resources lost game, which isn't too crazy. Archons usually do trade pretty well in these initial kind of aggressive plays. That is very impressive to only lose a few Zealots along the way, and even then, when he did lose the Zealots, he did a very good job for the most part of it. A few Zealots drop on down, and we do have Archons, Zealots, a couple of Immortals and Sentries coming up the left-hand side, and we do see one Zerglin here gets taken down pretty much immediately. So Zerglin gets taken down right away. Roaches are going to come over here, and oh, that's a couple of Zealots right away that got taken down. Oh, great force fields encounter though from MaNa, who is going to take this fight. The Ravagers will knock down the force fields. But HateMe, with the units coming in from the right-hand side, they weren't actually good. As a flank, it wasn't really that well done, because eventually they just kind of made the same concave. And MaNa didn't even really take much damage from them. Drops an Archon, tries to micro, but he just gets taken down instead. So at least HateMe gets that going for himself, as MaNa runs Zealots into the 3rd base. And this is what MaNa has been so good at here today. Just consistently having units on the counter-attack, consistently just making life so difficult, as we're going to be seeing one Queen down, and the second Queen taking quite a beating as well. Oh my god, both Queens fall here, as we're going to be seeing a few Corrosive Biles, but nothing actually going to be too successful. And we see Roaches and Archons splitting themselves up a little bit. Actually, Corrosive Biles down his own Roach. I mean, both of these players have to be so careful with the Corrosive Biles. They do masses of damage, and they do friendly fire if you want to wander into your own Corrosive Biles. Now, Storm's about to finish from MaNa. He's got a couple of High Templar here, and his energy for Storm is there. So the Storms will be available, and they may be very important in this fight. Some Zealots on the top side making the Archons very eligible to get a lot done. He's still pulling back now. The Storm's available. These Immortals should be able to really help out. The top side has been won by HateMe, but only for a moment or two. That's MaNa's only 2 storms, however. This Immortal's going to have to keep on clutching this defense out. Great Warp Prism to save the Immortal that second. Even brings it back to the shield battery, which gives it a bit more health to work with, and chasing this army away. It looks as though MaNa has successfully defended. And again, over time, it's one of these armies for MaNa which will power up over time. And it's one of these armies for HateMe, which unless he progresses his army in some way, is not going to do so well, given time. Now, he did, I believe, have a Lurker Den on the way down, and there it is. He's just chosen not to bring the Lurkers into play just yet. So hasn't brought those into play at the moment. Once the Lurkers do come in, obviously that is one way in which HateMe improves that army away from the Roach Hydra play. As we are just going to be seeing the... just going to attack their way through the rocks here. Groove Spine's on the way up from HateMe, going to be the extra upgrade for the Hydra to help them out in some of these fights. But MaNa, look at the confidence, just moves out onto the map. He's like, oh yeah, cool, you just killed a bunch of my units. Nah, it's fine. I'm pretty sure I can move out on the map again. I killed enough in the process, you know? So MaNa has no fear right now as he moves off across the right-hand side. There's actually quite a few Roaches and Hydras coming along the top side as well. Looking to see... what they can do. I mean, that man is really out of position to deal with this, but a couple of Adepts will at least tell him it's coming, so you can return back home in plenty of time. He has a couple of Storms to buy time as well in this location, which is nice. It's actually not bad, because now man is attacking in the open area, which could actually work out kind of nice for him. I mean, it works both ways. It's also a more open area for the Zerg player. If Lurkers are in play, I actually kind of like this more for MaNa, and they are about to be, as the first Storms are dropping down. The Lurkers aren't burrowed yet. That third Storm completely whiffs. You can understand why, because the Chitin was pretty good here out of HateMe. As MaNa continues to fight against this, the Lurkers definitely adding a lot into this. Another Storm coming down to keep MaNa going. Now it's Archons and Immortals against the world, and he has to be a little bit cautious. Another couple of Zealots would go a long way just to keep these very low health Archons alive. This one has 40-50 shields left. The other one has literally 2 hit points. Just staying alive here, and that is huge for MaNa, as we are going to be seeing HateMe in the complete retreat through the top side of the map. Lurkers, another Roach, and a few Hydras are coming around through the center. Just through center, centralizing themselves. We see an Observer on the way up here from MaNa as well. Warp Prism off over to the right-hand side. Is just sat around to see what else is happening. There's Immortals, Archons, and High Templar. Keep themselves joined up over on this left-hand side. Hive is going to be about halfway done, and we are going to see a Revelation going down. Roaches and Lurkers getting caught in that Revelation. We are going to be seeing this little bit of a potential fight in the next couple of moments, but it looks as though HateMe isn't committing yet. He's waiting for these Roaches to hit this base. MaNa already has Zealots here, but their Zealots against Roaches is not ideal. I wonder if they were even being warped in his defense, or whether it was actually just looking to try and get Roaches or Zealots, back up to that top right-hand side. Definitely a possibility. It's backing away through the center once again here. HateMe has been scary enough to push MaNa back at the moment. Fleet Beacon on the way up, a second Stargate as well, +1 air weapons, +2 ground weapons. Adaptive Talons on the way from HateMe too, and we are going to be seeing this Oracle coming forwards, and the Revelation will drop again as a few more Lurkers just coming up in the center of the map. The right-hand side, it's a good force field initially. Storms are good. It is mostly Roaches, so the Storms, while they're nice, it is, it doesn't straight up kill the Roaches like it maybe does against Hydras or bring them super low, but a couple of Storms definitely will, and that's what we're seeing right here as MaNa takes down a lot of those Roaches. It's just going to be turning, I think, against the Lurkers, it's just so difficult. It gets to this sort of point where you just really need to get to the stage of the game where you can bring the Lurkers into, you can bring the carriers in to fight against the Lurkers. You just need to really be very kind of cautious about how you fight this. And MaNa's been very cautious. He's not overcommitted to fights. I don't think there's been a fight so far I'm like, oh my god, MaNa, what on earth was that? He's going to fight in now, and he has got units from the top side. It's a Zerg sandwich, and the Protoss is going to be coming in from both angles, and that was not a sandwich HateMe thought he was going to be in the middle of. He just got completely caught off guard then. You can see how quickly he was like, yep, I'm out of here. Those Lurkers are like, up and away. No thank you. I do not want any part of this. They got out of there as soon as they could. +2 Carapace on the way on this Evolution Chamber. As you see to the south side, a 5th Nexus from MaNa is on the way up. 10 Roaches from HateMe just sat over to the left-hand side. The Overseer as well. We're just going to be seeing a few Zealots charge on in towards the upper left-hand side. And Archons continue to push on forwards. A few of these drones are going down. A Roach going down. A Roach and a Hydra here as well, potentially in the near future. As we are going to be seeing these Immortals continue to fight away, and again, those Roaches and Hydras just getting pushed off away down towards the centralized positions. Oh, now it's a Protoss sandwich though. A little bit revengeful before. MaNa, this might be the very first time he's truly overcommitted forwards here. He loses everything. Triple Robo makes 3 Immortals, and I mean, that's great and all, but where's the support for those Immortals? Okay, well, more Mortals, I guess they support each other. A few Storms available, but MaNa dove so hard. At least he killed the hatchery, which essentially resets, well, HateMe to 4 bases. With the Maiden and the Natural close to mining out, his economy is going to be painful. MaNa's economy is going to be looking good, but MaNa needs to be able to hold on this next attack. You know what? I think MaNa might be able to. He's only 30 army supply down. He's got the Immortal count growing very quickly. He's got Storms with energy. I actually think MaNa can do this. Let's see what HateMe thinks. HateMe didn't take the time to morph in Lurkers because maybe he thought this could just be a kill move. And look at how trapped he's gotten himself. The Storms are amazing around the top side of this. To the south side, these Roaches are fighting away. These Immortals are kind of not fighting the Roaches, which is a bit of a shame. But MaNa will trade out well enough here. There's a couple more Archons coming into play. This will be goodbye to this Zerg army. And MaNa pushes that one back. And that's a defense while holding the 5th Nexus so he can keep on mining. More units up the right as we are going to be seeing Roaches down coming in to engage once again. We are going to be having the +3 missile attack upgrade here from HateMe starting up on the natural expansion. That's obviously something which can go a long way in these fights and just slightly turn things around. You start killing the Immortals and a couple less hits or something, suddenly things can completely turn around when, you know, with how close some of these fights have been. 16.5 minutes in, this has been truly intense so far. As we are going to be having these Zealots, Immortals, High Templar, and Archons all set up and gathering together.
Your forces are under attack.
Roach at the top of the side is going to get taken down by a Zealot. Just a fight for map control continuously here throughout this game so far. And that's been continuing throughout. What's up, ManDada, coming in with the Twitch Prime sub. How you doing today? Thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Wardy family. Glad to have you with us. Roaches to the top, holding that watchtower. Immortals, Archons, and High Templar are still kind of looking around themselves here to maybe have a look to see what they can do. On the right-hand side, a War Prism moves up as well, and we are going to be seeing a bunch of Zealots warping in. That Spore Crawler is going to get a War Prism kill, I think. And he is going to get the kill, but the Zealots got out at least, so at least the warping came in. Gives MaNa something from this, and it's a distraction, of course. Pulls units away as he's pushing into this base. There's so many Lurkers here, though, and the High Templar is going to be the first recipient of those Lurker spines. Get out of there, MaNa. You need the detection, and right now you just don't have it with the army. There's one observer, there's 2. Now he does have it with the army. Oracle would be the best, and he does come in to revelate those Lurkers. Now MaNa can see them whenever, and it's really nice, because even if the observers get picked off or they get separated, it means that until that revelation is gone, he can still take that fight in a very positive way. Not sure what the hell that ding was. Maybe someone just became my Battle.net friend. Woohoo! Go me, guys. I got a Battle.net friend. Check me out. The Roaches and Lurkers are gathering up, and they're going to be trying to push on forwards. Going to be seeing a big storm in the center of the Roaches. I mean, it seems as though that's been the story of some of these fights so far. The storms have just been massive. Pulling away right now. Those Immortals continue to get so much more done. I mean, the Roaches melt, and the Archons just going to get up this ramp in time to be safe. The Adaptive Talons makes those Lurkers burrow so quickly, and that's really going to be something which allows you here as the, you know, as the Zerg player, just take fights so much more easily to position. You know, usually the kind of the weakness of Lurkers is, oh, you have to have them well positioned, but now you can position them so quickly. You can even position them mid-fight, and that's so very powerful. As we are going to be seeing this push forwards here from HateMe. Taking down the rocks, obviously, again, the more pathways he has to attack from, the better it's going to be for him to kind of box in the Zerg player, the Protoss player, to get those surrounds, which makes the Storms less effective, makes the Archon Splash less effective, and all the rest of it. It means that the Zealot kind of front line is also sometimes bypassed too. As we are going to be seeing Hydras and Lurkers here. Still just centralizing. An Immortal, a Carrier, plus 2 air weapons, all on the way up here from MaNa. And we've seen a couple of Immortals leading the charge, and we are going to be having the Mothership just trying to get into action here. Oh, the Archon's still leading into this a little bit. Oh, that's a nice storm on top of those Hydras, though, I have to say. It's a real nice storm on top of those Hydras, actually. In the middle of the map, there's a bunch of Changelings hanging around. 8 more Zealots on the way up on the warp in. Immortal on the way out of this natural robo. These Hydras over here are going to chase back those Zealots over the right-hand side again. So Zealots will get taken down as Roaches push on into the left, and that's a cancel on the third, the sixth Nexus. But it is a cancel. It's crazy. This Void Ray from early in the game. I talked about how it's different to make the Void Ray. You know, you don't always see it, but it's actually going to be used defensively here to keep this base alive against these Roaches. Meanwhile, Lurkers burrow in at the front, and they get a lot of damage done initially. The Observer goes down. There's another one just to the left-hand side, though. So for now, it's okay, and the rest of the Orphan Lurkers have to cancel. HateMe can't stick around. We do have Zealots going to move up the top side. The Roaches were dealt with, and so MaNa can retake this base once again. He's actually right on top of that. Oh, man, there's just nothing in position to defend this, and MaNa's army's going to threaten this base, which means that HateMe has to stay down at the south side of the map, as we are going to see the storms coming in, and it's a recall from MaNa. Ooh, he's going to lose quite a bit because there's a full surround of Zerg there. But I guess sniper base get out, and at the same time you snipe this base. Again, HateMe's economy is just being drained heavily. Look at the income difference coming through here as these couple of bases stop mining. It was worth a couple of units which he lost for it because MaNa can definitely hold on without them. And over time, the lack of those bases is going to hurt HateMe significantly moving forwards. Again, just going to be seeing these couple of carriers starting to come out, and that's another difference in this game that's now becoming prevalent for MaNa. As he gets these carriers onto the map, they become the difference maker in these later game scenarios. They become so hard to fight for HateMe, and they have made the difference and secured games for MaNa throughout the day so far already. We're going to be seeing those Roaches and Hydras continue to be pushed away off over to the right-hand side. We're going to be seeing the Overseers coming on in overhead. And we are going to be seeing, obviously, HateMe has to rebuild his hatcheries, get that economy going again. He's drained for money. And while MaNa doesn't have a bank, he's got an income. And look at that. You know, this graph shows it beautifully. Huge favor. As we are going to be, for MaNa, as we are obviously seeing him to, we are waiting to see what's going to happen next. Couple of moments here, guys, as some Zealots just get turned around very quickly on the top. Thank you very much as well to Mjolky for the 34-month resub. Huge resub coming through. Give me some love in the chat from Mjolky and almost 3 years. Thank you so much. And also just coming through with the resub right there. The 2 months coming in from Vandal009. Thank you so much, Vandal. Thank you very much for the 2 months. Again, Mandedar for the Twitch Prime Fresh. And Mjolky for the 34. Thank you very much, guys, for the subs and the support. Really appreciate it. As we do see these units just getting set up and ready to roll. More carriers on the way out, and as the carriers continue to come out, what is HateMe doing to deal with it? Absolutely nothing is the answer. And I mean, that's not through any fault of his own. He's just been so limited. Because MaNa just killed a couple of bases, what a great time it was for him to kill a couple of bases, because all of a sudden, we're talking about no hatcheries, no income. Suddenly there's no way to change up your composition to fight against those carriers. Big issues there as we're going to be seeing Zealots are coming up the left-hand side of the map, charging forwards. A couple of Lurkers will burrow. That will clean this up eventually, but not before the base gets cancelled. And those Zealots will start moving out of position, and, well, not even that many Zealots went down. Ooh, the Zerg's going to put himself between the Protoss army and his bases. Storm's coming down as a couple of reinforcement. Templars got caught, but they actually got quite a bit of damage done. He's trying to catch those couple of carriers, but they're just about going to make it to the army. Now MaNa has to make a decision. He will decide to recall this one. Carrier is not actually recalled, just a little bit too far away, and that recall will get MaNa back in location. Again, it was a bottom right base denial while killing 14 drones and getting back in time to defend his own base. Up here, he's keeping on warping in Zealots so he can continue to harass this base up top. If he gets an observer here, he might even be able to just take down those Lurkers, which would be fantastic, because it just stops them from continually defending that base over time. Couple of Vipers now on the way up, and I just see Daedalus in the chat asking why no Vipers are infestors, and I truly just believe it's because there was a couple of times in this game where HateMe really believed he was going to win the game with the remax of Roach Hydra and pure units, as those storms are insane yet again. And it's just because I think he thought that a couple of times, he decided to keep maxing these units, and instead, you know, he realized then that it's not working, but he kept trying to make it work and just kind of hold on. Now he's finally got a couple of Vipers up. Obviously, it's maybe even a little bit too little too late. I mean, I guess he can still win some fights. He's going to find himself a ton of probes. That's about 25 workers that are going to go down this top left-hand side. 25 probes exactly, in fact. It's some nice guesswork for myself, if I do say so. The carriers come in and they start to fight down those Hydras. An Immortal or two on the ground. It's actually a pretty close fight. The Immortals are backing away. The issue is those carriers, they just don't die with this number of Hydras. The Hydra number is not good enough. And even if it was, there's the support that's there for it. And once these Hydras go down, the carriers can just solo everything else because there's nothing to, you know, to deal with the carriers anymore. And this army now up here is just completely trapped by MaNa, who just says, yeah, you want to get back to your art base? Not going to happen, buddy. Storm is good, backs away, and HateMe knows he's losing way too much. He lost another base on the bottom right side in the meantime, with the Zealots coming through. GG, well played, and MaNa moves on